So I either scratched my cornea or I got pink eye or I got something, but this eye's nice and bloodshot, barely open right now. So we're going to do today's videos in sunglasses. We'll do it in honor of my late friend, the great Dave Koken. Dave used to do everything in sunglasses. So I will join him for today. Big game breakdown style NBA videos for Tuesday. It's $5 Tuesday at WagerTalk.com. I have a single best bet available for the clients and I. Check it out, wt.buzz/TC. Let's talk a pair in the NBA. For today, we're going to take a look at the Kings and the Hornets, and then we'll look at the Pelicans and the Knicks. I am in play service-wise on the Pelicans, the Knicks, and the side, so I'm going to talk about the total in that ballgame. But let's start with Charlotte and Sacramento. And Charlotte now laying 17/17.5 total, sitting at 230. It's that season in the NBA right now. And, of course, the Odds Logic live odds screen gives you those live odds each and every day, 24/7, oddslogic.com/Teddy. We'll get you a free 7-day trial for the Odds Logic product. But anyhow, we're looking 17.5 for Sacramento and Charlotte. And let me start with this, all right? When we look at what's going on in the NBA marketplace right now, in late March, what is it, silly season? There's, 10, 12 games left. What's happening is these double-digit favorites are crushing. They did it again last night. Look at the numbers. What we had last night. Let's see. Atlanta covered 13.5 against Memphis. They won that game by 39. Orlando lost outright, but so one loss. OKC covered 16.5 against Philadelphia. San Antonio, no, that wasn't a big double. That wasn't a big one. Double digits. We had Portland covering 15.5 against Brooklyn. We had the Clippers covering 13.5 against Milwaukee. It's the time of the year where if you're going to make money in the NBA, you're going to have to play some big favorites. And what's Charlotte doing right now? They're crushing teams. Last time out, they beat Memphis by 23. The time out before that, they beat Orlando by 19. The time out before that, they beat Miami by 30. So they're winning by margin. Now, they didn't win by margin when they played in Sacramento. Just, about 2 weeks ago? Not even. That is about 2 weeks ago. And it wasn't a particularly good game for Charlotte. They ended up winning the game by 8. But it wasn't one of those scenarios where, and they shot well from three-point range in that contest as well. So 19 of 40 from beyond the arc and still didn't cover. That said, Sacto hit everything that night. DeRozan went nuts. They hit 54% from the floor. And that's not necessarily typically what we're going to see from the Kings down the stretch of this season. I don't lay a lot of double digits in the NBA over the first half of the campaign. Over the back half of the campaign, I love laying double digits. I'm very comfortable laying prices in games like this one. And what's Sacramento right now? Obviously, you have DeMar DeRozan, who continues the ultimate pro. I'll give him all kinds of credit, but it's a lot of guys for the Kings getting lots of playing time. They're playing okay, and Sacramento's actually played a little bit better of late, considering how bad they were for much of the winter months. But this is not a team I trust. Charlotte is absolutely a team that's winning by margin, and it's a time of year in the NBA where most of the time with these double-digit favorites, I'd rather have the favorite than the dog. I'm not looking to take a little bit of value with bad teams that are just looking for ping pong balls. So Charlotte or pass for this better. I know it's a big price. 17. The market, the betting markets aren't sleeping on what's going on right now. And this happens at this time of year. But if I'm playing on land, this is not a dog that I want. And this is a favorite that has shown that they can take care of business. Before I talk about the Pelicans and the Knickerbockers, I do want to let you know about what's going on right now at WagerTalk.com. Plain and simple, $5 Tuesday. If you want cheap plays, $5. Guaranteed. If you want, you're going to, we have the guaranteed option as well. So, but the $5 Tuesday price point is the opportunity for people who are thinking about WagerTalk.com to get in. Just try it. See what it's about. So you're a first timer, maybe today's the day, $5. Single best bet available on my homepage, wt.buzz/TC. If you don't want me, and I'm running pretty good right now. Again, won with the 5% big ticket last night with the Chicago Bulls, 75% NBA run over the last 4 days, and plus 179 units of profit in the NBA over the last 4 years. But You can use it for anybody. $5 Tuesday best bets right now at WagerTalk.com. Let's look one more time at the Odds Logic live odds screen right now and take a look at New Orleans and New York. I'm seeing 8.5 pretty much across the board right now for the Knickerbockers. Total in that game sitting 231.5 / 232. And it's interesting to note the dichotomy for everything for New Orleans has full season numbers versus current numbers. Now, this is a team that started the year 10-36, and they're winning records since. So you look at those first 46 games, you have some really ugly numbers, lots of injury-riddled messes, a coach that got fired, all of that. You look at them over the last 25 games or so, and they played winning basketball, and the numbers are much better on both sides of the court. And in particular, for this one, again, we got a total here sitting 231.5, 232. On the defensive end of the court, we've seen a pretty dramatic improvement for the New Orleans Pelicans. Looking at the reason, pace-wise, right? And I'm just talking, let's say, the last 10 games. Pace-wise, both the Knicks and Pelicans are slow. Pelicans are below league average, and the Knicks are down at number 25. From a defensive efficiency standpoint, this is the one that really stood out to me. I'm like, I know they're playing better defense, but how much better defense? Last 10 games, Knicks, number 5 in the NBA defense efficiency. No surprise there. They played a weak schedule of late. But the thing that stood out, New Orleans, number 8 in defensive efficiency. That's over a 10-game span. It's not 1 or 2 games. They're bringing it defensively right now. So that certainly stood out to this better with two teams that aren't playing with pace and that are playing defense and a total that's in this range. And then we look at what happened. Oh, geez, these teams met once this year, 130-125. Game flew over the total. Well, every previous meeting stayed under. The previous, 5 meetings all stayed under the total. And the game that flew over the holidays when weird things happened, that was a 3-point shooting barrage. The Knicks hit 20 of them. The Pelicans hit, 16 of them in that ballgame. 14 of them in that ballgame. And both teams hit their free throws as well. So if we see another 35 made threes tonight, this play's going to lose. But I don't expect that to happen. I don't see a lot of pace in this game. And I do think that we're going to see the defensive improvements and the defensive intensity for both of these teams enough to make a difference in this one. So 231.5, 232. Let's go under for the Knicks and the Kings. So we'll go with Charlotte minus the points. We'll go with Knicks, Kings under. And there you have it. Double gamer video for Tuesday. I toughed it out with the sunglasses. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the likes, the comments, the follows. Best of luck with all your bets tonight. And be sure to stay tuned right here on WagerTalk TV for more quality free play video content. Cheers. Have a great Tuesday.